Continuing here. So, the way the story goes is that those that are found worthy and deserving of inheriting the earth is going to be renewed. Those are the terms that Jesus used. The terms Jesus used was that he called it the renewal of all things. So if you look that up, you can read about this thing that's going to take place upon this planet. And this is when all those saints that have prayed the Lord's Prayer, crying out day and night for justice to be the rule of the day upon this earth, are going to be filled. The righteous are going to be filled. Those that hunger and thirst for righteousness will be filled. And we're going to get new bodies, these imperishable bodies. So the dead are raised. Even the wicked are raised, but they go to a different place. Okay, that's where we get this term Hades or hell. In Dante's Inferno, if you look up the 9 circle of hell images, you want to see what it's like there. Read Dante's Inferno book. And you'll understand it's a place you don't want to be. So that's why I try to encourage people to be good, decent, and upright, and of pure heart, and long for a world of justice and mercy and peace and joy and contentment, where everybody is free and everybody is out of fear and they're secure. Because it ain't this place the way it is now. It has to go. Okay, this is a bad scene. And it's been a bad scene for thousands of years. That's how long this plan has taken to work itself out. But it will work itself out. And I want to comfort and encourage everybody to believe that it's going to work itself out. And again, it has everything to do with money, just like Jesus spelled out. This is the God of this world. This is a false competing God. For all intents and purposes, all those people that love money more than they love human beings, more than they love God, more than they love conscience or integrity or honor or their soul. Okay, those are the people that are in charge right now. These are the ones that sit at the top of this pyramid of power, that create the policies that are shoved down our throats from birth. So our so-called reality, our paradigm, this pattern of doing things upon the earth that we're all so used to through indoctrination, conditioning, programming, being inculcated, being imbued with this nonsense. We're all used to it. We think it's normal, and this is just the way it is and how it's always going to be. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. The good guys are going to win this thing. I guarantee. I make very few promises, but I promise you that. How do I know that? Because God cannot lie, and the day is coming, and there's light, just a glimmer of light now at this point in history, because things are pretty much demolished. Like I said, the ship, in my mind, I've seen it. It's been on the rocks for a long time. It was on the rocks when we got plunked into the water in 1963. As it was just going to decay and just get worse and worse and worse. Okay, this is not progress. This is regress. Your currency is supposed to go up in worth. That is capitalism. That's the evidence for capitalism. That is sharing the wealth that is being created by the nation, that the workers are creating. The workers create the wealth. Do you understand? And that wealth has been stolen from them. And the way that you would have shared that wealth is through cost of living reduction. That's what's supposed to happen. When you create such an abundance of everything everybody wants and needs, okay, which we have done very successfully. There's plenty for everybody. There's a superfluity and excess for everybody on the face of the earth to enjoy prosperity. Then you understand that I am not just making stuff up here. I know what I'm talking. I know the basis. Okay, the justification for the things I'm saying is true. And a child can understand the why and wherefore. Okay? That's the industrial age. Easier and easier to produce the things we want and need. What's supposed to happen in worth of your currency as that happens? It does nothing but go up and up and up. If you put it on a trajectory, you'd see how the wealth would just grow and grow until nobody even cared about money. And that's the last thing the evildoers want, is people not to care about money, because that's everything. That's what they got. That's the power they have. This satanic, wanton, vile power that they have with no intrinsic value, but just because you have faith in it. You trust in it. You're trusting in Satan, essentially, when you trust in money. The temporal, the ephemeral things of this world is what you're trusting in. You're overly invested in these things, in the false god of this world, the root of all evil, these money lovers. They're rendering you in their image and likeness, and they've convinced you that, yes, you should be like them. This is the definition of success, is to make a lot of money. Okay, don't you understand? That's all that life's all about, is just making tons of money. That is, the epitome, the exemplification of success. That's what they've trained us to believe, this crap. And here we are. Do we wonder how we got here? It's a mess, my friends. We're in a lot of trouble. And it doesn't help to ignore that fact. If we don't confront the issue, it's not going to get fixed. It's just like you hear a strange sound started emanating from your engine. Well, if you don't get it checked out, or check it out yourself and confront it, then how are you ever going to rectify the problem? You're not. It's got to be confronted. This is the only hope we have of extricating ourselves from this mess. And it's at the finger of God that gives human beings that strength, the wherewithal, the courage to go forth and speak truth to power and tell them under no uncertain terms, you're going to lose. You have already lost, but you haven't realized it yet. It hasn't been finalized. It hasn't been actualized. It hasn't been realized yet. But you are going to lose. The good guys and gals are going to win this fight. Okay? And it has, again, everything to do with money. And getting ourselves out from under the thumb of these money-loving freaks. Those that are controlling our so-called reality. And we are badly inculcated with these people. I mean, it's like a disease. We're infected by these people. And it affects our every waking moment, thinking about money, making money, paying bills. Okay? It ought not be like this. It's not like this for any other creature. Why should it be like this for us? It shouldn't be. Well, anyhow, that is about all the pontificating I wanted to do this morning. I'm going to get into a few of the current recent events and a few talking points. I kind of make notes throughout the week and stuff I just wanted to go over and comment on the way that the mainstream media spews out and spins the news, because they're working. These people, like I said, a lot of these people in these national syndicated, CBS, NBC, Fox affiliates and all this, multi-million-dollar contracts. Look it up. I'm not making anything up. Why? What, you'd think there was a shortage of these people. There's no shortage of them, or any athletes or rappers or singers or comedians or anyone. No shortage at all. It's like the attorneys get all this money. There's no shortage of these people. Brokers on Wall Street. Look at what these people are making. There's no shortage of these people. You understand that the worst enemy that the status quo establishmentarians that represent the beast system and all the minions under them that are inadvertently evil, so many of them, but they're evil just because they're going with the flow and taking the path of least resistance, that they are in the pockets. They're under the spell. They're under the thumb. Okay, under the control of these evildoers at the top. Okay, the worst possible scenario is universal prosperity. That's the absolute, that means that people are free. That means they can't steal your wealth anymore. So understand that whatever it takes to skin the cat and get us there is a good thing. So when I talk about a universal basic income, yes, that's one way to skin the cat. I don't like it any more than the next guy that says, oh, that's communistic or that's socialist. I say, well, really, I am a fiscal conservative, so I happen to know the effect it would have on your taxes. Your taxes would plummet by necessity. I mean, how could they not plummet when crime overnight would plummet? Okay, because since most of the crime is driven from desperate poverty. Do you understand? So there's facts to back up these things I'm saying. Ask any sociologist that's not disingenuous, and they'll tell you the same. Yes, of course that would be the effect it would have. If nobody was desperately poor, they knew what, hey, there was always help there. You need money to pay bills. You need, hey, we got a willing workforce. You have a godly instinct. We all know the system's not going to break down. America's always had a willing workforce. Never been a time in history when it didn't. So things are going to work. The wheels of society are going to keep turning. People keep serving and going to their jobs. They want to utilize their talents. They want to be appreciated. They want to be useful. It's abnormal, unnatural not to want those things. So don't worry. Don't ever be in fear. Okay? Financial fear. Don't ever feel like you're not free. That you're bound and you're oppressed and you're enslaved financially. We don't want that. It's not good because we're all going to feel it. We're all living together here on planet Earth. We're all neighbors. Okay, so we're going to get it through osmosis. Science can back up these things I'm saying. You're going to feel it. We're inextricably interconnected on a psychic level. Many ways that we're inextricably interconnected. We're one family, for God's sake. We share the same blood. So yeah, you're not going to escape the wrath of God and of decent human beings, okay, by just thinking, hey, I'm outside of it, I'm above you all. No, nobody gets an opt-out. Nobody gets a waiver from this thing. So we're all in this mess together. Care about other people. I'm a true capitalist. Because I know what true capitalism would bring. It would bring that rising tide of prosperity that lifted all ships. Not some of them. Not lifting some real high and swamping others. That's this wealth imbalance. That creates all the desperate poverty. All this homelessness. And then you're told you're bad if you don't think every immigrant in the world has a right to come to America because it's a land of immigrants. Well, I mean, we neglect our own native-born citizens, sons and daughters dying out in the cold, and you're bad if you don't want everybody else to come that's all destitute and impoverished from other lands to come here. You understand? This is a scheme. It's a plan, and it's a failed plan from the start, from the onset, but they're going to run with this ball as long as they can. They're going to push this envelope as far as they can. They're going to kick this can of misery down the road as far as they can. They'll bring in a third, fourth, fifth world status to America if they can. They don't care as long as they're above the fray in their ivory towers. They don't care what happens to you. You think if you're middle class, upper middle class, they give a crap about you? At the end of the day, they'll let you die like all the others out there. These are genocidal maniacs that think they got to cull the population in order to save the freaking planet. They're big fat hypocrites. They're liars and cheaters, thieves and murderers from the pit of hell. They're genocidal maniacs. They're monsters. That's who's ruling this world. And we all got to admit it. We all got to face that reality. Take the bull by the horns and fight that good fight. Pick up your fair share of way to the cross. Speak truth to power. Speak truth to your neighbors, friends, family, associates, peers, co-workers, everybody you can. And educate them, empower them. That's what you want. You got to share the knowledge. You don't keep it to yourself. You share it. Okay? You stay sharp and astute and have a keen understanding of these things yourself so you can impart them successfully to other people. Rudimentary, basic, fundamental economic principles about supply and demand. What it is true capitalism and what is not true capitalism. Be ready to explain that to people that are prescribing to socialistic views that don't work. We all know. Look historically. Look at what's going on. Look what happened in Venezuela. Okay, there's never been any socialist model that's worked to my knowledge. And if there is, they don't want you to know about it. Because it's really not the kind of socialism where it's Robin Hood, take it from the haves to give to the have-nots. That's theft too. So it's not, you don't do what these evildoers are doing. They're stealing from the working class. Is the right thing to do now to steal from those that have? when knowing that they can just get lawyers that to find them loopholes so they don't have to pay the taxes, so the people that can comfortably afford to pay the bills of society never end up paying it. Is that what you want in the way of socialism? So it always falls on the backs of the poor. That's what always happens. The nation is in debt. How do you think that debt gets paid? We're creating more and more multi-billionaires every day. Okay, who's paying the national debt? Nobody cares. They keep kicking the can down the road. Run up the national debt. It falls on the backs of those that can least afford it the most. The poorest of poor. Through currency debasement, currency deworthment, your money is constantly worth less by raising your cost of living tax and